Who tells you? You must remember that moment. Finley?
No. I think I got a call. I think I got told like the week before by one of the writers. So again, this hit my head, and booze does this to you, I've realized.
Okay.
But I know I got told like the week before, hey, this might happen.
Are you psyched?
Hell yes. I should have never been signed by WWE. Ever. And now I'm going to be a champion? Like, this is awesome. Then I get there, and I find out it's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's even cooler. And then I find out I'm going to do a finish, which my original finish was supposed to be like a bulldog off the middle. And I asked him if I could do the tadpole because that was my indie finish.
Mm-hmm.
No, Chavo does that. Well, then I'm under the ring, and Dean Malenko's our agent. Under the ring, and Dean says, Dylan, can you do the tadpole? Funaki's doing the bulldog. Chavo's not doing the splash. I go, goddamn right I can. So.
How did they get word to you under the ring? You were on
I had a headset.
walkie-talkie?
I had a headset. Yeah, every night I always had a headset and a monitor, so I could see my cues, except on house shows, which had nothing.
You're just listening?
I could memorize matches by the sound. It was awesome. It was awesome. I knew my cues. They would do a water bottle. Like if there was a cue, they'd have the ring announcer, Justin Roberts, a lot of the time throw a water bottle for one of it. But I would beat the water bottle because I knew my cue by the sound. That's how many times we worked with Mark Henry and Kali and Boogeyman.
Right. That's how much they mixed up the match, too.
Fit always would, though. Fit would a lot.
I bet he would.
But just to mess with him, I think, a lot of the time. I really do. But I could always hear the bump. I always knew that.
Okay.
And it was even easier when he would lift the apron. Then I knew my cue for sure.
Obviously, yeah.
But no, so the Cruiserweight title, again, I should have never won a title. Ever. And I'm winning the Cruiserweight title? Crazy. It's insane.
As a wrestling fan, are you disgusted with your own company?
Hell no.
Okay. No, I know you're psyched.
It's, you know what, there's two things that piss me off.
The criticism.
Yeah, the whole wellness violation and the hatred for me killing the Cruiserweight title. They weren't doing anything with it. Gregory Helms had it for over a year, but that's the only thing at this time that people cared about it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And then I did it, and we did stuff with Noble, and people cared about it again. Maybe in a negative way, but at least they were talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's better to have someone talking than nothing. Jay was awesome. Like, he was great to work with. He never had I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I wouldn't do that. My character wouldn't do that. I don't think I should put him over. No, because he wasn't being used all that much. So to do entertaining stuff and ha-ha stuff and not take all that many bumps, he loved it.
Right.
Loved it.
Now, he works as a producer later on.
Oh, yeah, later.
Later on.
Much later. When he moved over to producer, he was like in charge of Shawn and Taker. Their 2 matches. It's crazy. Like, he went to producer, and then he was liked so much as a producer. He was one of the producers for their Mania matches. Insane.
Right.
Like, you would think Hayes or R and all that.
Right.
Hayes was on it, and Jamie Noble was on it. It's crazy to me. He's smart as a producer. I will say he's very smart as a producer.
How much is a producer giving guys like that?
He came up with their finish.
Oh, okay.
He came up with the Taker Shawn finish.
Your appeal to kids was such a big part of your popularity, and obviously the reason that Vince and producers would say, go for the ha-ha, because they wanted you to keep that market entertained. And it worked for you long term, too, though it may have frustrated you. Did you feel at the time that you were maybe alienating hardcore fans of the sport, or was it all good with you that was your role? You talked about knowing your role and doing your role and blah, blah, blah. Did you feel any of that frustration that, I could be more than this role?
No, not at that time, because I was being used consistently. Later in the career, yeah. But at that time, I was still young. I was in the business for a year at this point. Or in the company for a year, I should say. Another thing that Fitz said, it wasn't really advice, but he goes, Dylan, I tell the office all the time, there's no one that's loved by kids more than you. And it always resonated. And he would tell me that a lot. Like, whenever I was real down, if I got real down about stuff, he would tell me that, remind me. But it was one of those things, like, I didn't realize it until much later, how much kids loved me. When Fit and I were babyface, we did babyface stuff, like fully babyface on ECW stuff, and throwing the hats and dancing around. I didn't realize it until like then, but I've never pat myself on the back or toot my own horn, but fucking toot toot, I easily was one of the most child-friendly characters.
You and the Bushwhackers.
I love Bushwhackers. Were my grandpa's favorite tag team. I know them.
This ain't your grandpa's wrestling.
No.
What did you want your role to be?
That time I was
That time.
willing to do whatever I could do. If it's getting me on the show, which it was every week, I was fine with it.
Were you upset to have to
Yeah.
give it up? Yeah. How far beforehand are you
That-
told that you have to lose a belt? That day?
Yeah, about 3 hours.
Okay.
I was pissed. Then I got to work. Again, I just wanted to work. I know a midget shouldn't work, but I wanted to work. I wanted to work matches. I wanted to have fun, and I was having fun. And then I realized, like, hey, I'm in the storyline with Vince. Like, I get that it can't overshadow that, or it can't take focus away from the other storyline. But it still pissed me off. Like, I was still like, eh.
Why couldn't the Cruiserweight division have just kept going? Why?
Because I killed it, Sean, right?
Well, no, that's what you said before.
But
But
no, that's what every person ever in Twitter said.
the decision was made to do
I
away
don't
with
think, I just, like, who else, I mean, it was, there wasn't a lot of them around anymore.
They could have worked it if they thought it was important to have that
But
kind
it
of
wasn't.
variety.
That's why, I think, because they didn't feel it was important anymore. Hell, they put it on Hornswoggle. How important can it be, right?